Renewed optimism that your second stimulus package could get done in a matter of a couple days, but this is amid a lot of question and conjecture, skepticism, and more, as Nancy Pelosi started the weekend saying that the deal was imminent, to use her exact word, imminent, that the deal could be hatched by this weekend. It wasn't. And now we don't see any moving on numbers. Still 1.7 for the president and Nancy at 2.2. So couldn't it get done? Meantime, questions unravel as to whether or not the president will be discharged on Monday or not. This is a broadcast recorded shortly before sunrise on Monday morning, but this is day 4 of 14. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope you're good and safe. And this is day 4 of 14, our new hit show on LALATE that joins on morning's LALATE broadcast block. If you've not watched morning's LALATE, I'll drop it in the links above. Make sure you watch that video because I go through a lot of big developments unfolding this morning for your second stimulus check. Coming up and later today is afternoon's LALATE at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time. But this is the video that drops right in between. If you've not subscribed, go to the front channel and subscribe. We're trying to reach 290,000 subscribers. We're at 282. So let's try to reach it in the next 7 days. Also like this video. Let's get to the breaking details. This is 14, as you know, and this is the video that focuses on the 14 days of self-isolation that the president had announced he was going to do. The question is whether this series will sort of die a quick death if the president sort of ignores his own statements by the end of today. Earlier Monday morning, it started with Mark Meadows, chief of staff to Donald Trump, saying that an announcement will be made about the president's diagnosis and discharge decision by the end of today. So will it? Or is that decision already reached? Additionally, in this video, I'll also be going over why the economic data on Friday was not particularly good. And third, I'll be going on the mixed messages that we're hearing from Pelosi and Mnuchin as to where the stimulus package deals go heading. If this and more is coming up in this video, let me get to the breaking news. The breaking news is that the economy is not in a good situation. We went into the weekend with a Friday jobs report from the month of September that was categorically horrible. I just don't know how else to say it. It was bad. No Republican, no Democrat could spin it any other way. It was a bad number. There was one person who spun it, though, Mark Meadows. He said it was absolutely incredible. You know, and then there was Larry Kudlow. V-shaped recovery. There's nothing V-shaped going on in this economy. The number was so bad. Wall Street had expected 800,000 new jobs to be created, including temp jobs, part-time jobs, jobs that no one wants, basically jobs to pay the bills, and the number came in at 600,000. It was a fraction of what anyone had expected. So now more than ever, stimulus relief is needed. The question is whether the people will do the stimulus package now, and why is there a sense of urgency or lack of sense of urgency? Second issue that's up for grabs right now is the concern that the U.S. could go on lockdown in partial regard in certain states in the matter of a couple weeks. And you still have not gotten your stimulus relief to rebound the economy from the months of, June to September. So the economy has not been stimulated during the period of rebound. Let me back up. CARES Act 1, the first stimulus package that you got, a first stimulus check, was to allow you to survive the pandemic during that lockdown. Well, it wasn't because you got one stimulus check. You were supposed to get a stimulus check for every single month that you were on lockdown. You didn't. So you were on lockdown. You didn't get enough to survive during that lockdown. Then, after the lockdowns were lifted, you were supposed to be given stimulus to re-stimulate the economy, money that you could use to pay bills, to go buy stuff, and then that would re-stimulate the economy. Consumer spending would increase. It didn't happen. The stimulus package didn't occur. So as the economy was slowly starting to improve in July, that's universally understood, there was no stimulus going to the economy. Now, as we are sitting here in September, Nancy and Steve are discussing a stimulus package for stuff that should have been stimulated in the economy back in July. The problem and this is a big problem, that you're not going to hear from anyone else, and this is opinion, but it's a mixture of also analysis, is that you're heading into lockdown in the next couple of weeks. And now you need stimulus to survive a fall and winter lockdown. And this stimulus package that I've been covering on this channel, the second stimulus package, is not that. No one in their right minds thinks that a single $1,200 check will survive them all the way to the month of January if they're on lockdown. Now, they don't even think it'll help them survive if they're not on lockdown. So as we sit here today, it's uncertain where Nancy Pelosi's brain cells are, because she thinks that she can just sit back and not give you a stimulus package, float it out to January and hope there's a Biden win. I'll be getting into that in a second. And that will do stimulus then. Oh no. A new analyst report issued today says that the situation for the presidency is not good for Trump. Trump's current medical team will decide whether or not he's going to be discharged by the end of today. Quote, the discharge decision will be made later today between the president and his medical team, White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows told NBC shortly before sunrise on Monday morning. The president has been sequestered at Walter Reed's presidential wing. He made that surprise drive around, I know, in the SUV on Sunday. But obviously he continues to improve overnight, says Meadows, and his health condition continues to improve. The doctors will actually have an evaluation sometime later morning, and then the president, in consultation with the doctors, will make a decision on whether to discharge him later today. You know what the president's going to say. He's going to say, let me go, let me go, let me go. We're still optimistic that based upon his unbelievable progress and how strong he has been in terms of his fight against the COVID-19 disease, that they will be released. But that decision won't be made until later today, said Meadows. Well, the situation that Trump might be looking at is the current number of polling results. A new report out today from Reuters, which is about as unpartisan as a news channel broadcaster, a news syndicate can be, shows Trump behind over 10 percentage points. And this poll was taken after his diagnoses. The situation is very clear. This president has really not gotten his presidential head on for purposes of campaigning. And now as we sit here back and we wonder, where is that stimulus package? Where is that executive order? Where is that extension of LWA benefits? What is he doing? And viewers ask me that on a regular basis. Why hasn't he done an executive order for stimulus checks? Well, he can. He has the money. He has said he would do it. He has the legal authority to do it. He just needs to do it. And why hasn't he done it? Because the economy is doing really well? No. Because Americans think the economy is doing really well? No. Because his base thinks the economy is doing well? No. So $1,200 stimulus checks, he wants to send them out. $2,400 married couple, he wants to send it out. Dependents and adult dependents, he wants to send out a stimulus check. Everyone who's an adult dependent and minor dependent, whether you got a first stimulus check or not, you would get a stimulus check this time around. He wants to do it. People on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, and railroad benefits, stimulus checks, absolutely. How much is the stimulus check? He only wants to give $500. I got it. He doesn't want to give $1,200, but at least he wants to do that. At least he wants to. He just hasn't. That's the problem that Americans are having, that viewers of this channel are having, that even his Republican base are having a problem with. He's not doing stimulus. He's not doing executive orders. And no one's going to sit back and understand that it's Nancy's fault when it comes to the fall election, when they choose between Joe Biden and Donald Trump on the voting poll. They're choosing between two people, and when they choose president. And ultimately, they will understand they did not get their stimulus package. They did not get their stimulus check. And they will make a decision between who the people were on inability to get that stimulus package. Now, legislatively, the president has not been he has been mixed message every single month since this has hit. Mitch introduced a bill, and then the president didn't like the bill. Mitch introduced another bill, and then the president trashed the bill. Steve Mnuchin negotiated, then they didn't negotiate, they did negotiate, they didn't negotiate. It just doesn't look good. And then you have the Republicans that are out there, like, that Chuck Grassley talks about, that don't even want to give $1 trillion of stimulus relief. Then you see the president really not taking a heavy hand, ordering the Senate to be reopened, ordering the Senate to do something, ordering, again, not doing anything, going on Twitter and saying, how's that stimulus chat doing? That survives about a 4-hour news cycle. It doesn't work. Now, Dow futures this morning opened up 200 points, or 0.7%, on hope that the president is getting better. We're getting great reports from the doctors, said investors in a briefing to CNBC. But the problem is a little bit larger than that. Markets seem to have been lowered on the chance of a prolonged uncertainty post November 3rd. Given that Vice President Joe Biden is ahead in most of the polls, this suggests the markets are assigning a bit more probability to his win and a bit less to a close and contested outcome. What does that mean? It means that the stock market's now thinking that Trump's is not going to win. 10 percentage points is not close. That's not a close race, folks. Another poll on Sunday put 14 points. It's not a close race. You would think that the president would throw the kitchen sink and everything into this election right now to get it going. Throw a stimulus package executive order. Throw an FPUC executive order. Everything that he should have done months ago that I was telling him to do in these recordings to give himself a title race, he's not done. You would think he would do it now. Instead, he's driving around the corner. That doesn't help. It doesn't help. People want money, and people want money right now. What's going on with Steve and Nancy? Well, Steve and Nancy, you really don't have a good sense of what Nancy's mental attention span is at this point. Her situation, in quotes, on Friday and Thursday and Wednesday were optimistic. Imminent. Deal's going to be imminent. Well, the president was COVID-19 positive then. Imminent. Deal could be hatched by Sunday. Imminent. Well, that was before the polls said that Joe Biden's ahead 14%. Joe Biden's ahead 10%. Ultimately, she wants Joe Biden to win at any cost, whether it involves not giving you stimulus relief. So how do we maneuver through this, and how is 14 really an issue as to how many days this president can wake up and understand stimulus relief is needed right now? There is a lot of mixed messaging from this president, because what he's saying is that I'm ready to get back to work for American people. I've been working for the American people. Okay, sir, where's your executive order for stimulus check? I can hear this as much as you can say it, but the point is that you have not done an executive order for stimulus check. So you're working for the American public. Where is that executive order? As we sit here today, the two parties, Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi, are apart by about $500 billion. And to tell you the truth, you could say that's close, as Mitch said it on Friday, or it's close, as Mitch said it on Saturday, but it's not particularly close if you understand that's exactly where they were a week ago. And she's exactly at the same number she was at in July. 2.2, 2.4, 2.2. She's been at 2.2 since the month of July, and this is now the month of October. So does that show that there's progress if someone's at the same number they've been at for 4 months? I don't think so. What do you think? Drop in the comments below. Let me answer some of your 951 questions from yesterday. Roy, I don't understand why they don't care. Michael, it looks like the politicians have just known all along that they would just not be giving us a stimulus package and just been playing us 4 games. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say in the comments that it looks like we have just been strung along with a fake narrative by both Steve and Nancy. And there's a lot of reason to believe that's true. Every time that Steve Mnuchin said, there's going to be a deal on Friday, every time Steve says, I think we're going to have a law by Friday, or Mark Meadows says, it's going to be introduced on Friday, the bill, and then we're going to vote on it, we'll have a law by Monday. And every time, like, Monday rolls around, and it's like they don't act like they ever said that remark. It's as though they're giving us a propaganda fake narrative pitch every 3 days, and then they sort of act like they didn't say it, and then suddenly there's a new narrative. I agree 100%. Christina, this is when the president should slap anyone in the face and get the executive orders done. I think someone else needs to be slapped in the face, because he's not doing the executive orders. John Henry, like I said, she's gloating. President needs to do the executive orders now. Cynthia, this is just disgusting how they're holding the American people down. Make America great. Well, now's the time to make America great, Mr. President. You wear the hat, use the pen that goes with the hat, and sign the executive orders. Connie, don't they call them do nothing Congress for nothing? James Clark, they've been isolating themselves from the American people. That's in response to the call by Mitch McConnell that he has closed the Senate because he wants to isolate the rest of the congressmen who have, been isolated from the American people for a very long time. Adrian, just send the soldiers to war and they're supposed to take caution but show up to the interests of the American people. Gladys, I'm afraid it's the roller coaster must go on longer. Carol, if the children of our congregation can do remote schooling, they could do it for the people. Deborah, if all the kids in the country can go to school remotely, why is the government ready for this? Michelle, they could just agree to give the taxpayers money, but to everyone else. Janice, we need 3 months, $1,200 stimulus. It's gone too long. Bills have accumulated. We on Congress. Mr. President, do executive order. I love Janice Stenson's remark. That's basically what I was leading on earlier this video. I mean, when the pandemic hit, it was March. CARES Act 1, first stimulus package, said, oh, people are going on lockdown. We need a stimulus check for every month they're on lockdown. Well, that was when Congress had their heads screwed on the correct way. You're on lockdown, we need a stimulus check for every month they're on lockdown. Okay. Then when they got to the final revision of the CARES Act, they're like, oh, no, take that out. Shh, take that out. Don't tell anyone we're taking it out. Don't tell the American people we're taking it out. Well, they took it out. And suddenly you got one stimulus check for being on lockdown for 4 months. Why? Because they don't want to spend money? They'd rather spend the money on salary raises for the government. They just don't want to send check on you. To this day, I will never understand why Democrats who try to spend money for purposes of the American people did not allow you to have multiple stimulus checks. And every single time a Democrat has put pen to paper, they have not given you multiple stimulus checks, with the exception of Ms. Harris, God bless, and Mr. Sanders, God bless them. They are the only one that have had the balls to write a multiple stimulus package check, multiple check stimulus package, $2,000 check every month for 6 months until the pandemic improves, until unemployment goes down. Nancy, no. Problem solvers bill, multiple stimulus checks. Nancy, no. Give them one stimulus check. CARES Act 1, Nancy, no. Give them one stimulus check. CARES Act 2, well, this thing now, no. Give them one stimulus check. What's with Nancy not giving multiple stimulus checks? I would love one reporter to get Nancy in a room and say, why won't you give people multiple stimulus checks? What is your problem with that? She wants to go to the mat for $600 a week for FPUC. Okay, how about you go to $500 a week for FPUC and give multiple stimulus checks? Is that a good idea? And then people's like, how long till I can write LALATE in for president? I mean, I think these things are sort of obvious. I just don't understand what is the big deal about getting multiple stimulus checks. Carol, our government looks like a bunch of goofballs. Barry, okay, Trump, now is the time. Do executive orders. Marlene, they see the money and they think it's theirs. Absolutely. Jeannie, I've been in healthcare for 35 years. We were not allowed to give out private medical information about government officials and celebrities. Then HIPAA came out and it was even more important. No one has the right to leak information unless he gives permission. That's a complex question. I'm really not going to go into that in this video. Diane Martinez, when it's over, wake me up. Lucy, Mr. President, get it done. Laura, treason against the American people. Katrina, did someone play the fiddle when Rome burned? It's starting to feel like a lot of this. Absolutely. Eastside Barbell, remember this national security issue. Jesse, everyone needs relief. Sean, what the hell is you waiting for? Trump, send the checks. I want to make something clear, if I haven't made it clear in this video, and I did make it clear in Mornings LA right before this video as well. Whoever gets the presidency for next year, if it's Trump or Biden, they're going to have big economic problems because this economy needed a major stimulus package in July, doesn't have one. Maybe the stimulus package that we're sitting here now in October gets passed in October, and maybe that money floats into the economy in November and October. It's not going to be enough if the country goes back on a lockdown in some states, which it will, in November, December, January, February, because we've waited 5 months to get this package in place. What are they going to do? Run back and start negotiating another package in December? I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that this package is going to carry us to March. It's barely going to carry us to November for purposes of the American people. Yeah, it'll carry people's salary raises, for 5 years from now. But us, So I think Trump and Biden are in big trouble because neither has understood that they do not have enough economic stimulus into this economy. Now, understand these comments that I led with on the news at the beginning of this recording was that Wall Street thinks that Biden coming in for president will be bad because he's going to raise taxes and he's going to raise regulations, and that the stock market is going to take a hit. But ultimately, the stock market will improve because he's going to have more stimulus. I don't subscribe to that theory because the stimulus is going to come way too late and it's not going to be enough. Sean Gray, what are you waiting for? Gloria, my prayers are with the president. Tina, please, Mr. Trump, do your executive order. Patsy, prayers for everyone. Rebecca, we have virtual classrooms. Do everything virtual. Kathy, why can our first responders and home health care workers wear face masks and that the government can't be any different? Ginger, kindergartners can use Zoom. If you don't know what they're referring to, Senate is in recess because Mitch McConnell put them on recess because 3 senators tested positive on Saturday and Friday, all Republicans. And so now the Senate's on recess. The Senate cannot do Zoom, cannot do remote voting because it requires all the senators to come back and vote on that. They're not coming back to vote on that. So as we sit here today, how do we get around that? Purple power. You have to urge the president to order the Senate to be back in session remotely, and that's basically all that you can hope for. Go to the front channel, subscribe. Coming up this afternoon is Afternoons LALATE at 3:30 Pacific Standard Time with more developments about this, starting with check, then hazard pay, then unemployment benefits, how to get you thousands of dollars, next Pelosi versus Mnuchin. Also like this video. Let's get to 290,000 subscribers, 7 days. Let's do it. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, stay focused, and stay FLA for more.